Good morning and welcome here to the Howard Worth Budget Breakfast. We're here again. It's good to see so many of you here on a Thursday morning. Just to introduce myself, for those that don't know me already, my name's Andrew Haig, one of the audit partners at Howard Worth. We've got a couple of Twitter hashtags up there, so please feel free that if you've got anything you want to tweet about or take some pictures and put them up on Twitter, we'd love you to do that. So use the Twitter hashtag and that'd be great. But while you do have your mobile phones out, can you just please, first of all, just check that they're all on silent and don't go off in the middle of Tim's presentation. There's no fire alarm plan this morning, but if there is anything that goes off, the fire exits are over there at the back. With the final stages of the Brexit negotiations fast approaching, it was not clear whether Spreadsheet Phil would use the budget to make any significant announcements, politically or economically. What is clear, however, that today's challenges with Brexit and Europe pale into insignificance compared to 100 years ago. And just to note that the sacrifices of those who did not return, we might not even be here today having this debate. Philip Hammond was under some pressure to instill confidence and to back up spending promises already made, particularly with NHS spending. He was encouraged by increased tax receipts and improved economic forecasts. Therefore, the Chancellor made a number of announcements that demonstrated a loosening of the purse strings, perhaps appealing to the Middle England voters. He mentioned a budget for strivers, grafters and carers, with tax allowances rising and increased spending. Was it Spreadsheet Phil turned Santa Claus, or more a Hammond House of Horror? Well, he delivered the positive message that austerity is ending as a result of the hard work of British people and the government's balanced approach to public finances. He warned, however, that fiscal discipline will continue. Fiscal Phil says fiscal rules okay. So the Chancellor introduced a number of tax changes and consultations. Tax savings for businesses are focused towards investment and innovation. For individuals, the promised increases in tax allowances, personal allowances, and the higher rates tax threshold will take effect 1 year earlier than planned. And there are also a number of spending announcements, with the challenge of online shopping for the high street leading to a 650 million available to rejuvenate the high street, coupled with 900 million for business rates relief. He mentioned plans for 60 million towards planting trees in England. Well, I guess the Scottish and Welsh will have to wait for that green and pleasant land then. And also a pothole cash pot of 420 million to help with the state of the roads, slightly in contradiction with his green aims as mentioned before. But also a fund of 400 million for schools to buy those little extras, books, paper clips and felt tip pens all around them. But I found perhaps the most bizarre announcement was the budget rates relief for all public toilets, and it led to some really lowbrow toilet humour. I won't stoop as Lou to join in that game. It's fair to say that Mr. Hammond wasn't put off by it being Monday, giving us his longest speech in a decade. And I think it was Martin, actually, that won the office sweepstake on guessing that one. But he also warned that he might still need to upgrade his spring statement to a full budget in the event if the Brexit throws things off course and the no-dealers have their way. So I think it's watch this space next spring what happens. So for my interest, I'd like a quick straw poll on the room's opinion as to a people's vote. Would you be a leaver or a remainer with your knowledge now? So can you all just indulge me first of all, please? You've got some red or green voting papers on your tables. Can you just put them up? Would you mind just waving them up in the air for me? Just have a quick straw poll. Red for stay, and it's green for leave, please. Guys, do you want to just come up? I think this is an ideal opportunity for a quick picture of us all. Come on, wave them all about. Can you see this? Okay, don't forget to look at the camera.
What camera?
Well, I think that was, looking at it, a pretty clear indication of Remain wins the day there. Not too dissimilar to what we did a couple of years ago when we did a similar exercise. So I'd actually better do what I'm stood up here to do and introduce our speakers this morning. First of all, we start with Tim Lewin, our tax partner. Tim will be covering some 5 key relevant tax changes